Thank you, Michael. Next up, we're going to have Leslie Kroger walk everyone through the
registration process. Thank you. So for those of you who are thinking about registering, or those of you who know you're going to register, we're going to go over briefly some paperwork. And I want to thank you all who have already attempted, who have already gotten an email perhaps from us and have gone to the system, and who have told us about issues that you've had with the website. We appreciate that. We recognize that we are working on it to make it as seamless as possible for all of you. So let's just talk about who can register. So the registration period started yesterday. It ends March the 29th. You must be either an adult, a property owner, a business owner, or a minor child who was exposed to the corrosive water in Flint between April 25th, 2014 to November 16th of last year. So April 25th, 2014 through November 16, 2020. In order to be eligible to participate in the settlement, you must actually fill out the registration form that goes into the system, and then you'll be issued a claims form if you are eligible. We said at the beginning that if you've already retained an attorney that is not part of our group, you should work with that attorney. That's the appropriate thing to do to make sure that you are registered. If you are an adult property owner, business owner, and you've not retained an attorney, you're considered part of the class. And if you want to register, we will help you. If you have a minor child and you want assistance with that, we can help that as well. Many of you who are on the Zoom, I know have retained us to assist with your minor children, and you've been getting email notifications from us. The point is, you are not alone. You do not need to have an attorney as an adult. You don't need to have an attorney to register your minor child. But if you need assistance, or you want assistance, or you have questions, that's why we're here. Next slide. So this is what it looks like on paper. You're going to have the option to register online, and you can go to the Flint Water Justice website, and we have a link there for you. And that will take you to the official site where you can fill it out online, or you can print it, or you can wait because the class notice is going to come out, and there's a third-party company that has been retained to help deal with this. They will actually be sending out the form with an envelope with the address to send it back. So let's just take a quick look. Most of the information is readily available to you. It is just who you are. It is where you live now, where you have lived since April of 2014. You can use it with pen and paper. There's a PDF document that you can download from the website that you can actually type into. Or if you register online, you can create an account that is private to you. You'll enter in your email address. It'll ask you for a password, and you enter in your information. Now, some of you have raised an issue because you registered yourself, but then you weren't able to add a child, or you weren't able to add a spouse. We know that's an issue, and we're working with the company that is hosting the website, and we're working to make sure that families are joined together. So give us a few days. And my apologies that it wasn't 100% when we got started, but we're working very quickly to make sure that we correct any action that needs to be taken. Next slide, please. Just a sample again: phone number, alternate number, email, as much contact information as you can get is what we'd like to have, and what is required with the registration form, because we want to make sure that you can be found to get the claim form. Next slide, please. So every person who wants to participate in the settlement, every business owner, every property owner will need to register and have their own individual form. You as a parent can register for your child. You as an adult can register your parent, your uncle, your grandparent, as long as you have the legal authority to do so. And we're going to go over some instructions. And if you think about, if you're able to act on someone's behalf, what allows you to do that, that's really all we're asking for, and all the form is asking for. So go to the next slide, please. This form in its entirety is on the Flint Water Justice website. I'm just kind of walking you through it briefly, but you can go onto it. There are instructions there. If you have questions, you email or you call us and we'll walk you through it. Again, if you are representing someone, if you are signing on behalf of your child, your spouse, your parent, it's asking who you are to make sure you have authority to do that and for your contact information. Next slide, please. If you have retained an attorney or an attorney is assisting you, it's asking for that. And that way, if there's something that's missing, it's, if for instance, you put down one of our firms, if you put down Trishelle Young or Cynthia or Teresa or the Pitt firm or the Cohen-Milstein firm, then internally on the back end, the system is going to know, oh, something is missing. I need to call Cynthia Lindsay, or I need to send an email to Cynthia so that she can contact you to fulfill the information. Now, there are a couple of documents, right? So we have the registration form. That's the first thing. And there is a medical authorization for blood lead level tests that were done through the health system there. If you're unsure if your child had it, fill it out because we'll have access to that. There's been an agreement. That information is coming to us free of charge. It will go into the system. And so any blood lead level test that was done will be available for analysis during the claims process. What else will you need? You need to prove who you are. So if you are registering yourself, they're going to want to see a driver's license or a state issued ID or a birth certificate or a tax return or something to say, something to ensure that people who are registering lived in Flint and were exposed to the water and deserve part of this settlement. If you're registering on behalf of someone else, the same thing. They want to know who you are and they want to know what authority you have to register that person, that you legitimately were there and that they're not going to allow anybody to come in and scam some of the settlement money. This is for the people of Flint. Next slide, please. And then you'll sign. And if you do it online, there's a DocuSign, so it'll take you right there. If you do it in paper, obviously you sign it. Next slide, please. There are instructions, gives you the dates, which we've gone over. And again, this is all online. We'll answer any questions that you have. It's on the Flint Water Justice website. It's on the official claims website. Next slide. And so this is what I was saying before. If you're registering for someone else, you need to show that you have authority to do that. We want to make sure that someone is not able to register your child and get the information on your child and potentially get the money that your child deserves. We want to make sure that it is you and you are properly authorized to do that. Go ahead. All right, so let's take just a couple of examples. We'll walk through this. So in the middle of the page, if you are a parent and you have a minor child, parent, minor child. So relationship to registrant is parent. Reason for representation is minor child. What is required? A birth certificate for your child listing you as a parent, or adoption certificate showing you adopting the minor child. So you'll have the birth certificate of your child. You'll submit your ID showing who you are, or some documentation showing who you are, and that's all that's needed to register. The one above that, parent. Unfortunately, if you have lost a child since this happened and your child was exposed, you need to show a court documentation showing your appointment as the representative to your child's estate, or if estate has not been opened, you'll have to provide some type of estate documentation. And this is where we kind of come in. If you get stuck on something, if you're not quite sure what documentation you need, that's why you call us, that's why you email us, that's why we're here to help you. Go to the next page, please. Again, that it's very well thought out. The special master and worked with us, worked with all counsel to make sure that this is very clear. If you find a situation, you find yourself in a situation where you need to register on behalf of someone else and you don't see the example here, call us or email us, we'll help you figure it out. You as an adult, for instance, the last example on this page, if you are an adult and meaning over 18, and you have a younger sibling, and it's your responsibility to take care of them. A couple of different things. You can show the court order giving you legal guardianship, or if you've adopted your sibling, you can show that, or if you claim your minor sibling as a dependent on your tax return, that's official. That will say it. Or you have your birth certificate and your little brother's birth certificate, and you show there's a parent in common. That is enough to give you authority to do that. Now it will be verified, but that will get you started in the registration process. Next slide. Again, just more examples. It's pretty detailed. I don't know that there will be examples that we can't find, but if you do, you let us know. We'll help you through it. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Leslie. Channing Robinson Holmes is going to walk us through the Flint office reopening.
Actually, I think Trishelle is going to handle this.
Thank
Okay,
you, Channing.
Trishelle.
Thank you. So we are excited to announce this evening that we will be reopening our Flint water office. Our address is located at 1188 Robert T. Longway. It is in the strip of offices that's right behind the Holiday Inn Express, very near the main Flint post office, right outside of downtown. So that's 1188 Robert T. Longway, right off of the I-475 corridor. Our hours and days will be Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will have staff on site, and either myself or another attorney will be there at least 3 or 4 hours out the day. If an attorney is not there and you need or would like to speak with an attorney, we will try to facilitate your ability to have a conversation either via Zoom or via a telephone conversation. And the main thing is to ensure everybody understands that we have strict COVID protocols in effect. You must have a mask on. If you come to the office, you will not be let in if you don't have a mask. However, for those of you who don't have a mask, we will have some masks there at the office. But in order to enter the office, you must have a mask on your face, and it must cover your nose and your mouth. We will also have gloves. If you want to utilize our computers to fill out the registration form online, we will have a setup for you to be able to do that. If you don't want to have to deal with computers, then you can fill out a hard copy and submit your supporting documentation, and we will accept all of that for you and ensure it gets to the proper location so that it can be registered in the system. So starting tomorrow, this Friday, January 29th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., the Flint Water office will be reopening. And again, that location is at 1188 Robert T. Longway Boulevard, right here in the city of Flint. Thank you.
Thank you, Trishelle. Next, we're going to have Cynthia Lindsay talk about the post-registration period.